right, everybody. Welcome back to the Uncharted Podcast Network right here on YouTube. You can also find us at all these socials that are hidden right down here. This week I practiced, so I knew which side it was on, right? It's going to be on this side. This is the socials. Facebook, the Uncharted Podcast Network. Instagram and Threads, at Uncharted PCN. Twitter and TikTok, at Uncharted_PCN. Those are the socials. Go like, follow, share, and subscribe to all those right now. Happy Wednesday, right? You guys have made it halfway through the week. It's pretty cool. And I hope that it's going well for you. It's been a crazy, busy work week for me so far, so definitely nice to kick back and have a minute between us right now. Excuse me. Sorry, allergies are kicking my butt this time of year. We got a couple different things that we're going to talk about today, and this is going to be way more of the free-form version of kind of how this show is going to work going forward. We're going to cover just a multitude of different things, okay? Let's start with wrestling, though. Let's start with WWE. Let's talk a little bit about the releases that they just did. The very long list of WWE releases and talent that have departed. The list is long. The list is weird. And I really just kind of at a loss this time when it comes to how they achieved these releases or how they got to these specific people for releases. So many of them were in the middle of things, like very literally in the middle of programs and stuff like that. So for me, it's just so weird to see this breakdown. Let's go through it just real quick. We'll start with the biggest chunk, and that's the Wyatt Six, right? So Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Bo Dallas, Joe Gacy, and Nikki Cross, all on the cuts. They obviously just exited a program with the MFTs, and what I will say, I'm a huge Wyatt guy. I absolutely love Bray, and I love the concept of the Wyatt Six. I feel like they were very poorly used, right? I think that's what this can boil down to, right? Is poor usage of that specific tandem and that specific talent. Never gave them anything meaningful, anything that was dire to the situation that people needed to tune in for, and they all just kind of hoped, in my opinion, that the legacy of Bray Wyatt would continue to draw in the eyes, and the the gusto of that entrance and stuff like that was just going to continue to be the thing that they needed to keep the Wyatt Six as a legitimate team and to keep momentum behind them, and they just failed. They failed on every front with the Wyatt Six. The tag team reign, or the championship reign, didn't really matter. Bo Dallas has a mixture of issues, starting with being injured fairly consistently, and ending with just, again, not being put into any situation that matters, right? Like, that character doesn't matter if you don't make it matter. Bray made Uncle Howdy the forefront of what he was doing in the return, and as essentially the voice in his head, the thing that was leading him to do the things he was doing was Uncle Howdy, and I just feel like they dropped so hard with that. It's been well over a year since Nikki Cross had a singles match, which is a crazy thought process. I really liked Dexter and Joe. I think that they were doing an amazing job as a tag team. They had some really cool stuff going on, and I really do appreciate what they brought to the table. And Rowan was always just kind of there to be the big guy, right? Like, he did a couple little matches here and there, but Eric Rowan, far out of his prime, and definitely a nostalgia piece to the Wyatt Six. Sad to see them go, right? Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. That's crazy, too. Aleister Black beat Randy Orton in a singles match in late February, like leading into WrestleMania. There's no point in having him beat top-tier talent and then just have him get cut. They dropped the ball aggressively with him. They could have done something similar to the House of Black in AEW. They could have made him a cult leader and a cult follower, or just a cult figure, and instead they chose a really weird route, and it didn't pay off, and it cost him and Zelina Vega, and I think that is just a travesty. We can continue down this list. You got Dante Chen, you got Andre Chase, both of those guys from NXT. The Motor City Machine Guns, that's just disappointing. The tag team division is already strapped, hence everybody's so pumped for the Street Profits to be back and to magically be face again, as if everybody forgets that they were heel literally just before they left. Um, Santos Escobar. I loved Escobar's first NXT and main roster run. Again, he was like a cartel cult leader. It was awesome. They did a great job with that, and they dropped it really hard. Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is an amazing talent. He was never really used. He was never really on TV. That's just a WWE issue. I feel a lot like about him like I feel about like Titus O'Neil, where for a minute he was just kind of there to be there. So that one's not as heartbreaking. Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is the big one to me. Kairi Sane is insane to, no pun intended, to cut at this point. They were just getting to the payoff. We were just waiting for her to turn on Asuka, or to have Asuka turn on her, realign Kairi with Io. Like, everybody was so behind it, and now we're starting to hear speculations that she had said she wanted to move back to Japan. Well, there was also a tweet that came out from Kairi that said that she's never abandoned her fan base and that that's not what happened. So WWE is going to fabricate their own story, and currently what they get to deal with is every time they see Asuka, you're going to get a "We Want Kairi" chant. Asuka has become kind of an afterthought. She's not as intimidating as she was in NXT, and because of that, we're just in this boat now where, what do you do? And poor Kairi, right? Like, again, she's finally a big piece of this story, and they just drop the ball. They drop the ball entirely, and I don't vibe it, right? In my opinion, I understand, right, that releases come every year, and they used to come twice a year. I don't know. It seems like they don't do that as frequently anymore, but I still think that it is an absolute shame that some of this talent that was cut is cut altogether. Again, the 6, super sad. Aleister and Zelina, Santos, and of course Kairi. Yeah, man. I mean, more usage. You have I'm not even gonna say they have a deep roster. Like, they have an all right roster, but like, back to Aleister and Zelina. Danhausen is proving that the crowd really wants these supernatural, goofy. Like, I'm not saying make Aleister a comedy act, but I am saying that they like the supernatural. They like the magic. They like it to be enticing like that. So it's a letdown to let go of somebody who is kind of macabre and spooky and just waste this talent. So those are my quick opinions on the WWE releases. And mostly the moral of the story on my end is that I just don't get them. I don't understand them. I don't vibe them. And that's just such a travesty in my mind. Hopefully some of this talent makes their way back to WWE. Hopefully some of this talent goes to AEW and just crushes it. Does the Cody thing where they burn the boats and they go and they make a name for themselves and make WWE regret the drop. Let the Wyatt 6 go to AEW. They might use them better, they might use them worse, but like, I don't vibe a lot of these decisions that WWE just made. That's just my opinion on that, and we'll wash our hands of that for the current moment. Artemis 3, so space-related material real quick. Artemis 3 is about a year out, and they rolled out the main piece of the SLS rocket today and sent it over to one of the different production facilities down at NASA. They're just really, I can't even say finalizing, they're just getting the equipment ready. And the next mission is going to be testing the lunar lander and life support systems in space, so those won't go to the moon directly during Artemis 3. But all of that will test the life support systems and such so that Artemis 4 can take humans back to the moon. So that'll be fun, and I look forward to that. A huge space guy, obviously, a huge Artemis fan. And I look forward to what that mission holds. Starbase Texas, they've been doing more testing. I had a Flight 12 on Ship and Booster, both doing successful static fire tests before being wheeled back to the production at Starbase for what I would assume to be final adjustments prior to full stack testing, which is where they obviously put both vehicles together on the launch pad. They'll probably do another round of tanking and detanking prior to flight testing, and then we'll see what the V3 Starship looks like once it's in motion. They had a lot of hiccups with V2, but this is the first time we'll see V3 with the V3 Raptor engines as well. So it'll be exciting to see kind of how that breaks down going into those weeks. But also, I plug them every time. I'm not paid by them, obviously. NASASpaceflight.com. NASA Spaceflight is where I watch all of my space coverage. They also have an app called Next Spaceflight, which tells you every rocket that's launching at any time. You can watch it, minute by minute. Anything that has coverage, you can watch through them. Their team is amazing. They do really good coverage, and they're very educational. Most of their live streams are updating you on kind of what's happening in launch mode, like as the launch is progressing or as the build up to launch is progressing. And then they answer a million questions from viewers. Some of them are like obviously tipped questions. Some of them aren't. They're really good about letting it be an equal opportunity thing, and everybody gets to kind of have their piece of the pie. But I got the Artemis II patch from NASA Spaceflight. It's amazing. They actually use the exact same company that does the NASA patches for the NASA gear. So it's actually super cool. Good materials. See if I can get that to... There we go. That's better. Yeah, look at that. That's super cool. Great craftsmanship. They're iron-on patches. They look fantastic. I love them. I buy all of the Starship ones, but I couldn't pass up the Artemis one. And then on top of that, they did little Artemis. That one's not because it's reflective, but they did Artemis patches, or patch pins. So little lapel pins. If you're into space, if you're into anything space flight related, if you just think it'd be interesting to watch a rocket launch or watch the progression of Starship and kind of how that functions, and you're not a flat earther, please, for the love of God, go check out NASA Spaceflight. They're an amazing company. They're very educational. They're very community. They're very give back to the community, and I think that you will really enjoy their product if you are a space flight nerd like me. That's really like the prepared content, right? So forgive me. Let's have a few minutes of just rambling, right? I've hit that stage in my life, and I'm sure some of you can kind of vibe it, right? Where I am tired at all times. I could sleep 30 hours, I could sleep 2 hours, and I feel exactly the same. And I think that that is insane. And obviously part of it is, work, and we have a 7-year-old and all sorts of stuff like that. So life is just life at all times. It's very busy. On top of that, I obviously do stuff like this where I want to be productive and I want to do cool things and do cool internet stuff and all the good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I am just to a point where I am tired at all times. But really kind of what I'm getting at with that is just to make sure that you guys are all out there taking care of yourselves. You're all out there taking care of each other. I went to Arapahoe High School here in Denver, Colorado, in Littleton, Colorado. And one of the things that was always said at Arapahoe, and my brother and sister all went there and such, was that warriors always take care of one another. So that's like the biggest thing that I kind of want to pitch at the end of this conversation is make sure you're looking out for each other out there, guys. The world is weird. There's so much crazy going on in the world between politics and all the other crap. Excuse me. Sorry, these allergies are killing me today. Pardon me. Yeah, between politics and all the other crap out there, it's just such a weird and a tense time in our world. And the one thing that we can do and that we can protect is ourselves and our brains. And, pick up a book, enjoy some sunny days, go out and enjoy. It's been kind of rainy here, but we finally got some sunlight. Hence, I got the window open and the fan going. Just try to find something out there that you can enjoy. Try to find something out there that makes you not feel stressed. Try to find something out there that makes you decompress from the situation. It separates you from the bad. It, just motivates you to feel good, feel better, and put a smile on your face. That kind of stuff is free. It's all great. Go out and touch some grass. You know what I mean? Go have a good day. Life's too short to feel stressed, man. And trust me, work right now for me is crazy busy. So I have to pretty constantly remind myself that it's not the end of the world, that the end of the day has to come. Tomorrow's a new one, and we just keep trucking along. Like I said, Go listen to some music. Go pick up a book. All sorts of good stuff. Whatever makes you feel happy, whatever makes you feel good. Those are things that you should be doing. Protect your mind, protect your body. Take care of one another out there. You never know what other people around you are dealing with. So you try to take this opportunity to be kind to somebody else. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys tune in. I'm happy that I can do this again, and I'm happy just to be here and having a good time with you guys. I'm gonna start doing probably and probably not an extremely long one, but probably start doing some live chats. I'm thinking on Fridays, maybe some end of the week happy hour or something like that. Still working on it. It might not be this week, but if it's not this week, it'll be next week, something like that. Again, socials all at the bottom of the screen here. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe to all the socials. Drop a like on this video. Comment something that you really enjoy doing to just decompress, to take your mind off the craziness that sometimes is out there in the world, because we can all, maybe we pick up tips and tricks from each other, right? Where we can kind of figure out some of the stuff that if I see somebody enjoy something, maybe it's something that I think I can enjoy. Stuff like that, something community, something very positive. And you know what? Some of the things that I love is sports, space, and you guys who all tune in. So thank you very much for tuning into the Uncharted Podcast Network, where every episode is the main event. And today, we were in uncharted territory for the very first time. Safe travels out there. I'll see you next time.